Welcome to Video Uno by Mr. Kabongo from the Congo. Alright, so what are we going to do here? It's pretty simple. We're not going to freak out. We got this. Alright, so what you're going to do is you're solving. What are you solving? Radical equations. And this is level 1. If I say level 1, that means there will be a level 2. Possibly a level 3. Bunk it up because you are about to get on the fancy ride. All right, so how do we solve this? So when you're solving this, it's easy, my friend, easy. So you see the square root here? We have to get rid of it, right? So if you have a square root, to undo a square root, just square it. Same thing here. So to undo the square root that I have here, I'm going to square by 2. You probably can't see the 2, so I'm going to write it with a different thing. So you need to square the left side, also square the right side. When you square, you undo in the square root, so you should just have what's left in there. 4 plus 7x. And on the right side, 9 squared is 9 times 9, you get 81. And then we're going to solve for x like you have learned in the past, like algebra 1, whatever you have learned in the past. You subtract 4 on both sides, right? You should have 7x. Here, you subtract, so let's say 80, so what would that be, 70 or 77, I think? I think so, yes. And then you divide by 7 on both sides. When you divide by 7 on both sides, x equals 11. All right, now, you're not done. I know I box it, but you have to double check your answer just to make sure it's right. So what we need to do is take your 11 and plug it in for x here, and it has to give us 9. What I'm saying is since this one is pretty simple, I can quickly do it over here. Square root of 4 plus 7 times 11. All right, so that should give me 4 plus 77. That should give me 81, and the square root of 81 is 9. Check, check. Therefore, we good. That's the answer. That's how we're going to double check every time, because it may not work. If it doesn't work, then you would say that is a extraneous solution. We're going to get to that. No worries. I'm out here using fancy words. All right, let's move on to the bottom one here. The bottom one. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to solve, but you always want to have the radical on. The radical is this one. The square root is called radical. So I need to subtract 6 to get rid of this. Subtract 6 here. Let me draw my line. All right, so I still have my left side here. Square root of 6 minus 15x. On the left side over there, I should have 8. Now, this goes back to like the previous question. All right, just like the previous one at the top. Square root this to undo the square root and square this. So now you should have 6 minus 15x equals 64. All right, let's continue. All right, so what you can do here is subtract 6. That goes away. Subtract 6. What is 64 minus 6? If I'm not mistaken, let me just go the long way. So boom, 5, 14. 14 minus 6, that should give you 9. So if that give you 4, I'm terrible with my basic math, 4, 5, 6, about 8, right? I knew that, duh. And that should be, boom, we good. And then here I have my negative 15x. And then you divide by negative 15 on both sides. All right, what does that give us when we do that? So I'm using my calculator now. So if we do 58 divided by 15, you should get 3 point something, right? So x equals, I say 8. What's going on here? 3.86. All right, let's double check this, right? So you can just always just take this answer, go plug it in. When you take this answer, just go plug it in. And I don't have to do it right now, but you would take this, you will plug it in here, and you make sure this whole thing equals 15. All right, so let's continue. Where are we? On this side over here. So, no, let's go back at the top. At the top here, so you learned last class, you know, when we were doing the asynchronous learning, if I have this right here, I can rewrite it as a 6x. Let's use a blank color, 6x plus 10. I can do it like this because I'm bringing this, the radical, I'm putting underneath as a denominator. All right, so for some of you who actually pay attention to the lesson we were doing online, that was one of those lessons. All right, so how do I get rid of this? So you're gonna have to multiply by the reciprocal of that, so 3 over 1. Same thing on both sides, 3 over 1. All right, so now, because this would just cancel right here, so you just left with the inside. So you have your 6x plus 10 equals. And for that over there, if you don't know how to raise something to a power or even a fraction, you can come over here. You do 8 raised to, what power was it? I think we said 3. It's the same thing as 3 over 1, right? Which is 512. So let's go back here and let's put a 512 here. Now we're going to subtract by 10, subtract 10. You should have 6x equals 502. Then you divide by 6, you divide by 6, right? So we do 502 divided by 6. We're getting 83 point. Uh-oh, I may have done a mistake. Here's my mistake. It's very simple and I can quickly fix it. All right, so on here, I was supposed to do -8 because it's supposed to be -8. So let's see if I can put a negative right here. Nope. All right, so it's supposed to be negative 512. So let me go back here. I apologize, people. So it's supposed to be a negative. Let me use my different color here. Let's go with red, negative. So that's supposed to give me negative 522. All right, so you divide that by 6. Now, let's divide the negative 522 divided by 6. We get negative 87. That's more like it. Negative 87. All right, so again, to double check it, you really have to double check it, right? How do you do that? You're just gonna have to take this, you plug it in here for x, right? And then you go from there. So we can actually do this real fast so you can see how that would work. So it's a cube root. So let's go to cube root. So if you're doing cube root, you can always go to function. You can go to the last one here and you can click this one, which allows you to put a 3 there. And then you go on the inside, which says 6. I'm assuming it was 6. And then in parentheses, you can put your negative 87, because that was an x value, right? Negative, and then plus 10. Gotcha. And plus 10. So it looks like everything's supposed to be under the square root. There you go. All right, -8. And from the beginning, we had -8. See that? So that's how the answer works. Let's do the last one. So the last one, since we have this raised to 3 over 2, what you're going to do is do the opposite of it. So it's called reciprocal. All right, so there was 3 over 2. You will raise it again over 2 over 3, reciprocal. And then you do the same thing here. So there was 8, but you're going to raise it to 2 over 3. All right, so that would allow these to cancel. So you only have your x plus 5 left. On the other side, you're going to use your decimals. All right, so you're just going to go over here. You're going to say 8 raised to, I believe we said 2 over 3. and that is 4. Then you go here, you put your 4, right? All right, let's continue our work. So now it's just basic stuff. Minus 5, x equals -1. Let's double check this answer. We really need to take the -1. We gotta plug that in right here, right? So -1 plus 5 raised to the third. So let's go do that here. All right, open parentheses, -1. We said, is it plus 5, something like that? Let's double check. Plus 5 raised to, I'm doing the original one, plus 5 raised to 3 over 2. Raised to 3 divided by 2. It looks like it says 8. Do I have 8 here? Yes, I do. So that's my answer. The -1 is my answer. This is how you do level 1. I think I may have done the bottom left wrong or something, but if I did, it's just excuse my small error or something like that. But that's how you do it. All right. Let's move on to the next video.